Why do you think that is
That's
so
phenomenal.
exciting? Because I have that
Uh,
exact same feeling when I
I
get
know.
sats, and it could be 10 sats. It doesn't matter. But I
Yeah.
see it and I'm like, I'm amazed. And then I go tell a friend who's not into Bitcoin or not into Lightning, doesn't know about podcasting 2.0, and they go like, "What? Well, what's 10 sats?" And I'm like, "Well, it's like less than a penny, but like that's not the point." And they don't get it. Like, why do you think it's so exciting to us? And is
Oh,
this
but when
something you
they
think?
do it, when people do it, they get it pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Once they've done it, they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And you have to have that loop, right? So you've got to read some of these boostergrams on the show. I
Yeah.
mean, this is part of the value for value, and and people like, this is why crowdfunding works. Crowdfunding, it's the comments. People go into crowdfunding sites for the comments. You're paying to support something and to comment.
Mm.
This is a big part of it. So you're commenting, and there are some podcasts who are now putting their boostergrams on their website, so you can actually just watch what people are saying in real time as they're boostergramming, so everybody can see it. I mean, there's all kinds of cool experimentation being done, and I don't know why it is, but it's the same when we do a donation segment for value for value. We tell so this person gave us $1,000, and here's the note that they had to go with it, and it's used, and then we just turn that into content.
Mhm.
We just that become with, and we try to please keep the notes short because you're driving me crazy. We have to do a much longer show. If the donation segment's long, then the whole show is going to be much longer. Um, and it's a human thing. I don't understand how the brain works, but there's people out there who do. There's something about it that once you've done it and you've kind of gotten into the loop, you kind of love it. And so people say, "I don't get it. I don't get it." They're giving you free. That's why Oscar is working real hard. We're all working hard, but Oscar is going to be the first test case with Fountain. We're working with Swan Bitcoin to be able to. Well, first of all, if you sign up, you will get like 10,000 Sats. Even if it's 1,000, who gives a shit? Just to try it out. And then this light KYC, which is basically name and email address, and then you can refill your wallet. I mean, so we have this double step that is a huge barrier to entry, which is first Bitcoin, then you got to get it on the Lightning Network, then you got it into a podcast wallet. It's
Yeah.
almost like if you presented this as a business plan, people are like, "No, we're not funding that. You're crazy. That you'll never get to do that." And of
Yeah.
course, now you see everyone jumps in and everyone's working together, and that'll be a big one when someone can just grab an app and for the first time there'll be 1,000 sats or 10,000, and you will start to learn very quickly how enjoyable that is. I think that these types of things are going to bootstrap it really hard.
Hmm. I 100% agree with that. There's like the traditional way, or the way that like I got into Lightning was first learn about Bitcoin, then buy some, then hold it, then figure out like how do I move it to Lightning, then figure out how to spend it. And I'm spending it after I've been taught this is something I should hold on to and I should never
Right.
spend.
But this is a part of it
Hmm.
because, for you, guys like you and me, we're starting to use Bitcoin for little things to buy stuff, right? I think I use Breeze really for my, and I mix it up, but I like Breeze a lot just for walking around. I got a couple $100 in Sats on there, and whenever I can pay with Satoshis, I do it that way. But because I'm a hodler by nature, I really think like I'm going to pay for this with Sats right now. That could be worth a lot more in 5 years from now. Do I really want to do it? Is it really worth it for me? I'm applying the value for value rules in my head, and it makes me purchase less
Hmm.
and purchase consciously. And it makes me feel good about my purchase. I never regret it once I've decided, like we pay voltage for one of our nodes and we pay in Bitcoin. And it's like $1,800 a year or something. And we could pay in dollars. We'd be okay. But I'm like, yeah, I kind of like it. We'll pay annually and we'll pay in Bitcoin. We're all in this together, and the Sats have to flow.
Hmm.
The feeling, by the way, I have a similar feeling about with value for value payments as I do with mining. I got an Antminer S9, just plugged it in, got it on Slush Pool, and I just look at this every week or 2 weeks. It's like there's some freshly minted Bitcoin that I just knew it's, and I got Bitcoin in, and you look at your slush pool, you look at the miner itself, you see the hash rate, you see the global hash rate, you see that it's churning, you see the rewards, what's being confirmed, and it's a great way to stack sats. Do it with a
Mhm.
podcast. It's so exciting. My wife's like, "How's John Henry?" We call it John Henry, our miner. "How's John Henry doing?" Henry's doing pretty good. He did about 6,000 sats today.
Yeah.
And so it just becomes this entity that becomes part of your life. I mean, I wouldn't gush typically this much, except this is the Lightning podcast. So I kind of have to gush a little bit about how cool it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think it changes the game when you can earn Bitcoin because it cuts out that
Yes.
entire process, right? You don't have to learn about what it is. You don't have to move it to Lightning. You don't have to worry about the capital gains or any of that. Like when you're spending it, if you're earning it, it's just like it cuts through all of that process, and so it's a really quick way to get onboarded. And I kind of think that that's going to happen with a lot of different apps. There's gaming apps that are, starting to allow people to earn Bitcoin. There's going to be all sorts of use cases. There's Stacker News is like a Reddit style place on
Yep.
Lightning. You can earn for posting. I just had a friend who's producing this show now. I just set him up on Stacker News yesterday, and I just sent him an article. I said, try that on Stacker News. Earns his
Hmm.
first few sats, and it's just like instant, nothing.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
didn't
I,
have to
I,
do any
I just set
onboarding,
up,
KYC, nothing.
yeah, I just got my Bitcoin machine, the Umbrel in the bitcoinmachines.com casing. Because I love this idea. I love the home server. I just the whole thing. But I have one already. But I wanted an orange one. I want this is a museum piece that I'll have running in my server closet that everyone can take a look at through the smoky glass. But I got it specifically for LN bits with a public IP address, which you need kind of. And so today I finally went through the process of learning how to do Let's Encrypt. I hate the whole necessity for it, but okay. In this case, it's very valid to have SSL, and I cannot wait to set up. Probably I'll have a faucet for some people. I want to test some pay links. I want to test some of the. They have so many cool different extensions, and I just want to kind of mess around. I put a couple 100,000 sats on this node just to get people into it. Say, hey, grab this wallet. Watch how this works. Watch how the pay thing works, and that I think that's a fun way to kind of get people into it. And I can even if I wanted to, I could host a wallet for someone. They can have a Zap or a Blue Wallet connect to it if they just want to learn a little bit. This is part of the fun of Bitcoin, right? Is you get to experiment and break shit. And what's the worst that can happen? You can lose all your funds, you idiot. Oh, it's your own fault.